Leap of Fate podcast fan. Welcome to this week's episode with yours truly, Randy Silver. As always, the Leap of Fate podcast is around overcoming adversity, teaching you all life lessons, helping you understand how you can be the best version of yourself. To help you with that, we've been doing a January series of 2022 Better You, and this is coming out January 30th on audio only, which would be Spotify, Apple, Google, all however you're listening to it, any audio site. And then video, January 31st, Monday, which is the last day of January, on YouTube, 10 a.m. Leap of Fate channel. Please go subscribe to any of those. So to finish up the January series, what we're going to do this week is we're going to go over more of a commentary around, drum roll please, positive decision making and how you can look at the half glass full versus the half glass empty. We're going to also go over everything we talked about, how all the themes are tied together as it's the end of January. So now we'll be done with our 2022 January series, and we'll move back on to the interviews that I have scheduled coming up for February, March, with a lot of different cool people from a lot of backgrounds, industries, unique perspectives on how they can help you be better. So this week, I actually don't have immersive background like the other ones where we can use it as a following. If you're looking on YouTube, I got an on-air sign, I got a light bulb. We're in a podcasting studio. So we're just going to do a live stream commentary today. I normally don't do live stream, live thought type of process on this podcast. It's usually thought out. We have the immersive background. We talk through it, questions. But I had 4 events that happened in my life this week that I think were very notable that I'd love to share with you all, because I think it's going to show you decision-making. It shows a leap of fate mindset, the ability to be successful in hard circumstances, the idea to have the correct thought process in circumstances when you get bad news and good news. How do you comprehend that and move forward? So I want to talk about 4 things that happened in my life this week that I think are really important. One is going to be, I want to hike with my dad on Wednesday. So we're going to talk about that and some of the mental learnings and the teachings from that, for me personally. 2, I went to the dentist on Thursday, and there are actually 2 things, not 1, 2 things that happened at the dentist that were just very eye-opening to me. And one dealt with my dental hygienist who was, cleaning my teeth. And then 2 was with the front receptionist who was working her job and trying to help out a older woman understand what the next steps were at the dentist. And it was not an easy conversation. So I want to talk about how both of them, what I saw, the learnings from it. And then 4, Uber driver. Last night I'm the Uber driver. It was about 1:30 a.m. going home from a concert, and him and I had an amazing conversation, good chat. And what he does in his life, working the graveyard shift as a single dad, taking care of his 3 kids, is very, very commendable. So I want to talk about what he told me, how he's doing it. And then this is all going to tie together to what we talked about in the other podcast of last week, was how to prepare and succeed in a new job, leadership skills, how to ace your job interview, emotional intelligence, and then of course, how to set effective goals. Again, how do you better yourself? And learning from these people and the situations I've experienced this week will help you understand how you can take the learnings in your life. And then 2, everything in the past that we've already talked about, more in a professional sense, business sense, tying those goals together to be effective for you in 2022. So let's talk about each one. So first was a hike with my dad. I know my dad's one of probably my most loyal fan, supporter in my whole life. My whole life he has been. My parents, of course, but my dad is always there for me, and I love that, and I appreciate that. So Dad, if you're out there listening, which I know you are, shout out. We're on a hike in Orange County. It's called the Red Rock Canyon. It's a little bit north Irvine, Laguna, Niguel area, up in the back of the hills. And it's about a 2.5 mile hike, and you get to these Red Rock Canyons. A lot of people know Red Rocks in Colorado. It's a very famous concert venue, but also just the whole scenery is Red Rocks. Something very similar to this. It's not amphitheater, but it's those types of rocks formations out there. And I live in San Diego. I used to live in San Francisco, as you all know out there. And I haven't been home a lot besides for the typical go home for Thanksgiving, potentially go home here and there. So it was just nice to be at home with my parents for a week, enjoy hanging out with them, talking, catching up, relaxing, all that goes with being with your parents. But 2, going on this hike with my dad, because I had a very stressful work week. And We talk about a work-life balance, which was huge in last week's episode. I talked about, and you guys saw the clip I put on social media. And this was an awesome opportunity for work-life balance I got to have in this hike with my dad. And we actually talked about it on the hike. So that's why it kind of provoked me to want to talk about it here. Again, work-life balance is how do you find the right balance between work and your personal life? Can you mend them together? Can you make your own schedule? Are you able to not be stressed out and do what you want in your personal life? And we were just talking about, hey, let's go on a hike this week. This was like Sunday night or Monday. We said Wednesday, like, what's your last meeting? He said 2:30. I said, great, 2:30 for me. Let's go on a hike. Because we were both working from my parents' house, we're gonna work remotely. Once like 2:30 hit, we were boom, gone. We were out on the drive, going on the hike, having a great time. If we were in an office and I wasn't able to have the work-life balance I want of being remotely, I would have had it driven home from the office. Say it's 15-20 minute drive. It could even be longer depending how far that is. If there's traffic, accidents, things like that. Same thing for him. So maybe we don't leave for the hike until 3:15, 3:30, even like 4 o'clock later if we have to go that. Who says we even get off that early? We're able to get off that early because we both work remote. So I can start work earlier in my position. So again, having that mobility, having that balance. So I started work on Wednesday, 6:30. I was able to get off 2:30, 3 o'clock because I was done. I made sure to take a smaller lunch at my house. I already had something pre-made from the night before. Let's go to my kitchen 5 minutes so I can get more work done in time. Same thing with him. And so we have this work-life balance where 2:30, 3 o'clock, we can go enjoy the rest of our afternoon. I don't have to be stuck in an office in the cubicle until 5 o'clock. And that made me so happy. Monday and Tuesday were rough days. I had 8 to 10 meetings each day. I worked like 10, 11-hour days. They were super long, but I had Wednesday blocked off on my calendar so I could go on this hike with my dad, enjoy it, made sure all the meetings were done in time. And I had the work-life balance. My boss, David, shout out. He's like, great, go have a great time with your dad. Enjoy. All of my coworkers, hey, go have a great time. Because I told them I was going on the hike. So I found a company that promotes a great work-life balance. It gave me the ability to go on this hike with my dad. We had a great time bonding, father, son, all goes with it. If you follow me on Instagram at RandySilver09, as you all see right there, posted a cool photo selfie with him at the rocks. You can go check it out. And then I felt better Thursday and Friday. I had gone out with my dad. I was in a happier mood. I was good. Thursday went down. And then I came back down to San Diego. I worked super hard, felt rejuvenated, and it was great. And people at work asked how the hike was, showed them a photo or two, and they really enjoyed seeing me because they know I was at my parents' house and the work-life balance I had. So it's just great that I talk about work-life balance. And then when I got into Oyster, I built that into my contract. I made sure that, hey, I could get done at a certain time and I didn't have to worry. And as of Oyster, most of the company allows this anyways. But I made sure to ask about it and talk about it in this conversation. So that's why it's really important to talk about work-life balance. I'm wanting to show you and practice my work-life balance, which I really liked. And hopefully you can have that too. Number 2, Thursday, I went to the dentist with my mom. Not this typical mother-son bonding, but hey, we both needed to go to the dentist with the teeth cleaned. Never had any cavities, y'all. Excuse me, let me re-say that. Never had any cavities, y'all. So it's fantastic that keep it clean, that mouth, brush my teeth twice a day, floss, all that goes with it. What happened at the dentist? Why am I bringing this up? We don't think about a lot of the things that have happened in the pandemic. We know about nurses and what they're going through, the number of hours they're working as well. But there's a lot of other jobs of people, still having to do their job. They're able to work remotely, as I just talked about. The dentist, hygienist, they have to be in office. You can't go to someone's house and do a dentist. You can't do any dentist virtual over Zoom. You got to go in the office. So them, chiropractics, physical therapy, all these types of stuff, they've had to continue to work through COVID. So one, having gratitude and appreciation for them being at the dentist day in and day out and making sure that they're getting our teeth cleaned and they're doing the job. It's not an easy job. It's not like, hey, you can sit back and watch TV when you're working. Hey, you can zoom out on his Zoom call and not really focus. They got to clean your teeth. They're on 24/7, 365. So it's not an easy job. And I was just telling her about going on a hike with my dad yesterday and how nice it was. And that's why I choose a company. My job was that. And I just appreciate her for all that she's doing day in and day out. Being in the office, because it's not like she gets done early. Like they got clients. If someone cancels, then they'll schedule someone else in there. They're busy from the moment they walk in to the moment they leave, and they probably got work after. she's busy while she's there. She's doing the cleaning. So like, I just appreciate her and all that she's done in helping out us as normal people, not at the working the dentist day in, day out. So with that, like me showing her appreciation, she appreciated me back even more for acknowledging it, sharing it. And I'm sure that made her day, and it made her feel so good because she related that um, I was so nice and just upfront about like my appreciation for her and token, because a lot of people come in, sometimes they're frustrated. They think that they're getting hurt at the dentist. They don't like the dentist. Oh, that's painful. Like, why are you doing this to me? And then just trying to do their job. They're not trying to hurt you. Like, they're doing their job to like clean your teeth. And sometimes, it hurts a little bit. And complaining about it is not going to get any better. So she really appreciated about me sharing the appreciation. And I told her again and again, like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it was a really good symbiotic relationship. At the end of it, she's like, one day, hopefully, I can get a work-life balance. But I love being a dental hygienist, so I probably won't have that. But like, it's cool to see that you found your niche and you're really happy. So that's how we tie that to the previous story. And also just talk about, again, when you see people doing the job day in and day out and they're working hard, just say thank you, appreciate all you do, because that one comment, one sentence will really strike a chord with them, and they will make their day significantly better. And who knows, whole week, and you never know what else will happen after that. So the second story at the dentist deals with what I then saw happen. So I was done with the dentist early. My mom was still getting in, so I was in the waiting room hanging out. It was me and just the receptionist. And then an older woman came out of the dentist's office with her caretaker, maybe it could have been her mom, someone like that. And they had to schedule a follow-up appointment for like March, April time, so a couple months out. And this woman was older. When older, I'm talking like had to be 70 through 90, like much older. And she was hard of hearing. And so she kept yelling at the receptionist, and not in a hard way, mean way, just like vocalizing very loud because she couldn't really hear. And then was like, what? I can't hear what you're saying. And like, please speak louder. And then they wouldn't understand the receptionist's answer to very basic questions that were being answered, or overall questions. And she kept asking the same question. I don't understand. Can you help me? And the receptionist and some of the questions said, I can't do what you're asking me to. It's a breach of what my role is and what I'm legally allowed to. You have to call your own insurance. You have to figure this out with your own bank. I can't do this as you. And the older woman couldn't comprehend it. And she kept yelling and yelling and yelling. And after 10 to 15 minutes, the caretaker was like, oh, like, let's just go. Like, this isn't going anywhere. The reception the whole time smiled, pleasant, was so nice. It was amazing to see her, and her customer service was fantastic. And when they left, it was just me, her in the office. There's no way I wasn't going to hear it. I was right there. And I said to her, you handled that conversation so well. That could have been taken so many ways. You could get agitated. You could have got frustrated. You could have just, said like, leave, but you tried so hardly to get her to understand, comprehend in such a nice tone and voice. That was amazing to watch. And if more people could treat people the way you treated her and you helped that conversation, the world would be in a better place. And the receptionist was taken back at what I said to her and like how nice, and like I'm vocalizing again, acknowledging her and what she did. And two, said like that was one of the nicest things someone's ever said to her about customer satisfaction, helping the customer service. And she appreciated that because she really tries every day, and she understands that she's getting me 100 different types of people, and you have to treat them all the same way, which is the utmost respect. So I acknowledge her, and I saw that in her, and I know for a fact, again, because she told me how much that meant for her, and like it really made her week to hear that, because that was a tough conversation to listen to and like to be a part of. So her doing that makes people want to come back to the dentist, which makes that business go. It goes into the emotional intelligence piece that we talked about in the past. It goes into how to set effective goal in 2022, because she's doing the best that she can for customer service. And she leaves a lasting impression on me and left a lasting impression on you with that story. So that's the two things we saw at the dentist, and how the way you communicate with people, the way you acknowledge, will help you, one, in your personal life and in your business life. And then number four actually, is the Uber driver I had. This was yesterday night. I was coming home from a concert. Shout out to Short Break, super good. Saw him in Ocean Beach, San Diego, 15-minute drive from where I live in North Pacific Beach, San Diego. And I was just talking to Uber driver, shooting the shit, having a good time. And I was like, oh, it's 1:30. Thank you so much for driving. I appreciate it. And you're driving like slow and great. Like, thank you. He goes, this is normal for me. I do the graveyard shift. I was like, oh, really? You like graveyard shift? He's like, well, one, I don't it doesn't really bother me, but I do it out of necessity. I was like, well, do you care to explain? And this is his story. The gentleman is a single dad of two girls, but the girls are in their teenager years now. And he does a graveyard shift from 10:30ish to like 5 or 6 a.m. while they're sleeping. And then when they wake up, he's there in the morning for them to be able to have breakfast together. He helps them to go to school, hang out, all that goes with it. When they go to school, they're done. He sleeps. So sleeps from like 8:30 to about 3, 4 o'clock. When they come home, he's there to help them with their homework, practices, whatever it may be. Once the night's over and they go to bed, he drives. Why does he do it? He needs the extra income. He got laid off during the pandemic. He's working a white collar job right now. However, it's not paying all the bills fully, and he needs a second income to help sustain his family, which is him and his two children. The wife did not come up in the conversation, or excuse me, ex-wife did not come up, or maybe deceased wife. That did not come up in the conversation. We kept it to him because I didn't want to ask. But what is that showing is he is busting his butt. He's being a great girl dad. He's being an amazing father to them and being there for them, versus he could be doing that during the day and they have to figure out how to bus everywhere, bike everywhere, rely on friends, and not be a present dad. But he wants to be present for his girls, and that's why he's there to make sure in the morning, in the evening, that he's there. And then he's at night, bam, he's out there driving. So his sleep schedule is crazy. Obviously sleeping like 8:30 to 3 or 4, but he's doing what he needs to do for him and his family to survive and earn a living for them. And I'm sure when they get older and they're going to understand what he did, and I'm sure hopefully they understand what he's doing right now, they're going to appreciate that and love that and thank him so much for caring about them and loving them. And it just made such an impact on me because I get to live such a blessed life, and that I don't have to worry about doing a graveyard shift. I can work if I, 8 to 5. Hopefully a lot of you out there in the same way, like you don't have to worry about a second job because you have the sustaining for yourself. Maybe you do need to do that and you're like him and you're just grinding every day. And those skills and those traits are going to be transferred down to his kids. They're going to understand the love he put, the effort he put in, the grind, and they're going to work that much harder in their life to succeed as well because they see their dad out there every day grinding like he is. So hopefully, like, again, that made an impact because we talked about work-life balance. He doesn't have a work-life balance. Like if he doesn't work those 6 hours at Uber, he's not going to get paid. He's not having customers. If I work at Oyster and I take half day, I have a salary. I'm gonna get paid that regardless. So it's a crazy different work-life balance, and we're each in our own lane, but it doesn't make it right or wrong. And I can sit there in awe and appreciate all that these three individuals I talked about are doing. And then I can sit on and appreciate myself that have my situation that I like and I want to be in. And I don't want to ever give that up. So I just work hard every day to make sure I can be here and to appreciate what I have because other people don't have it like me. And hopefully that's the mindset that you have today after listening to this is take gratitude and appreciation for in your life. What are you going through? What is the positive of it, not the negative? Every situation, someone could have taken the negative view of it. Someone could have yelled. Someone could have done something poor. But they chose to look at the positive situation and make this best situation they can and use a positive mindset thinking to move forward. So hopefully you can have that positive mindset thinking moving forward. Hopefully from, again, how to set your goals for 2022, emotional intelligence, how to ace your job interview, leadership skills, and then using today positive decision-making, positivity, acknowledgement, and gratitude, how you can try to live the best life that you can. As I said, moving forward, we'll get to go ahead and have our guests coming back starting next week, which I'm super excited. I'll keep them a little bit of a secret so we don't share, but we got some good content coming to you around entrepreneurship, creating businesses, life, all that goes with it, the same things we've been doing. So appreciate y'all tuning in every week. Again, my name is Randy Silver. Please do like and subscribe across all channels, all pod streaming sites, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn. Find me, Randy Silver, or Leap of Faith Pod. let's do the sign off. Thank you, y'all. I hope you have a great day, great week. Acknowledgement, gratitude, and I actually do have one last thing I would like to share. I want to do a bet with y'all. So if you are at this point in the podcast, I would like you to reach out to me this week and tell me what you did for gratitude. At the end of this week, I want to have hopefully 5, 10, 15, how many people reach out to me and share them on the future pod of what you did for gratitude. So hit me up on any channel. Tell me what you did to show gratitude this week and how you helped make someone else's life better and you gave a positivity smile to them. I want to share that because I love sharing positivity and hopefully you see that. Can't wait to hear you all feedback with me. Thank you so much. Let's do the sign off. Stay healthy, stay wealthy. Have a good week, family, friends, listeners out there. Love y'all. Show some positivity, show some gratitude. Deuces.